What's up, guys? Welcome back to Almost Functional. Back with the Death Guard Index that just came out today, so we're about to jump right into that. Their army rule is Nurgle's Gift. If your army faction is Death Guard, while an enemy unit is within contagion range of this unit, subtract 1 from the toughness. Characteristics of model in that enemy unit. Contagion range changes over the course of the battle as shown below. First round 3 inches, second round 6 inches, third round and on 9 inches. So very similar to what they had right now. And then their detachment rule is spread the sickness. If you control an objective marker at the end of your command phase and a Death Guard unit from your army is within range of that objective marker, that objective marker is said to be infected and remains under your control even if you have no models within range of it until your opponent controls it at the start or end of any turn. In addition, while an objective marker is infected under your control, it has the Nurgle's Gift ability as if it were a unit from your army, so the enemy's toughness within contagion range of it will have their toughness characteristics modified. So this is really nice, just auto getting sticky objectives on all Death Guard units because they are kind of slow. So that really, that's a really nice army rule. And then here's their stratagems. We have Ferric Blight. In your shooting phase or fight phase, 1 Death Guard unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, improve the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. If the target of that attack is within contagion range of an infected objective marker, you control a critical wound is scored for that attack, improve the armor penetration characteristic of the attack by 2 instead. Excellent. Alright, so basically plus 1 AP on your unit, and if the unit you're targeting is within range of an infected objective marker, it's -2 instead. Or sorry, plus 2 on AP instead. Then we got Disgustingly Resilient, 2 CP. Fight phase, just after any unit has selected its targets, 1 Death Guard unit. Basically, you can give one of your units -1 damage in the fight phase, which some people were saying that meant 1 damage couldn't hurt you, but it sounds like that's being backtracked and probably going to be addressed fairly quickly. So looks like this will be to a minimum of 1. Then we have Sanguis Flux. Fight phase, 1 Death Guard unit from your army that has not been selected to fight yet until the end of the phase. Weapons equipped by models unit get sustained hits 1. And if you're within range of an affected objective, you get sustained hits 2. And then Gifts of Decay, 1 your command phase, 1 Death Guard model from your army. Your model regains up to D3 lost wounds. If your model is within contagion range of an effective objective, 3 lost wounds. So a lot of these strats, or most of them so far, look like they're triggering off of bonus things if you're near one of your infected objectives. Then we have Boil Blight, which is your shooting phase. 1 Death Guard unit from your army and 1 unit within contagion range of that unit. Until the end of the phase, each time a weapon equipped by a Death Guard model from your army targets that enemy unit, that weapon has the heavy and ignores cover ability. Well, alright, so you pick one of your units and one of the enemy units, and when you're targeting that enemy unit, you get heavy and ignores cover. Alright. Cloud of Flies, you choose in your opponent's shooting phase. You choose 1 unit from your army that was selected as the target of the attack, and until the end of your phase, they get stealth. So basically -1 to hit. So solid strats, and then enhancements. We got Living Plague. Death Guard model only add 3 inches to the range of the bearer's aura abilities, including Gift of Nurgle. Alright, so this can make your contagion range up to 12 after turn 3, and then any other auras, so that's solid. We have the Droning, which is also an aura. While an enemy unit is within contagion range of the bearer's unit, each time that unit fails a battle shock test, roll 1d6. On a 2 to 5, they suffer 1 mortal. On a 6, they suffer d3. So just hitting units within contagion range that fail battle shock. Deadly Pathogen, Death Guard model only. Add 1 to the strength and attack characteristics of the bearer's melee weapons. While the bearer is within range of an infected objective marker, add 2 to the strength and attacks instead. And then Shamble Rot, Death Guard model only. Each time a bearer's unit is selected as a target of an enemy unit's charge, till the end of the phase, subtract 2 from the charge rolls made for enemy units. Shamblerot I really like. Living Plague seems okay. Uh, the two are alright. They're a lot more situational. You have to be really in position for stuff. But if you put Living Plague on somebody that gives buff orders to you, you can control that he's in range of making it work. Then we got the Death Guard Demon Prince. He's movement 7, T11, 2 up save, 10 wounds, leadership 6, OC 3. He has a Plague Spewer, which is anti-infantry 2+, ignores cover, and torrent. So D6 attacks, strength 5, neg 1, 1 damage. Then we have the Hellforged Weapons, have a strike and sweep. 6 attacks goes to 14, both hit on 2. Strength 8 goes to strength 6, neg 2 to 0. 3 damage to 1 damage. And then he has Godfather's Blessing. It's an aura psychic. While a friendly Death Guard infantry unit is within contagion range of this model, basically gives a 6-up feel no pain to people within Death Guard infantry within contagion range of him. So say if you put that enhancement on him, that would be start and turn 1, 6 inches, then 9 inches, and then turn 3 and on 12 inches, he's handing out a feel no pain. And then he has no weapon options. And this Death Guard Demon Prince with Wing. Same weapon options. His movement goes up. I believe everything else is the same. He has Warp Horror. Each time a model ends a charge move, each time this model ends a charge move, select one enemy unit within engagement range of it. Unit must take a Battle Shock test. Alright, so handing out Battle Shocks. And then each time this model ends a charge move until the end of the turn, its Hellforged weapons have the Devastating Wounds ability. Alright, so that's not bad. Each time you charge, you're handing out Battle Shock to the enemy and popping Devastating Wounds onto your weapons. So on him, you might almost take that neg 2 to charge thing. So if someone gets in range, tries to charge him, they fail, then you get to counter charge them and get all your buffs up. Then we have Typhus. 5-inch move, T6, 2 up save, 6 wounds, leadership 6, 1 OC. He has Man Reaper, which has strike and sweep, has lethal hits on both. It's 5 attacks to 10, both hit on 2s, strength 9 to 6, neg 2 to neg 1, 3 damage to 1. He has the Destroyer Hive. While this model is leading a unit, each time a melee attack targets that unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So this makes his unit -1 hit in melee. Then the Eater Plague is a psychic power. In your shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit within 18 inches of invisible to the Psyker. Roll 1d6. On a 1, this Psyker's unit suffers d3 mortal wounds, and on 2 to 5, that enemy unit suffers d6 mortal wounds. On a 6, the enemy unit suffers d3 plus 3 mortal wounds. Alright, so just select one enemy with 18 in the Psychic phase. Unless you roll a 1, you're just doing mortal wounds to them. And then he can join Blight Lords, Death Shrouds, and Poxwalkers. Then we have a Death Guard Chaos Lord. 5-inch move, T5, 3 up save, 5 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. Combi weapon, Plague Bolt Pistol, has lethal hits. Plague combat after the lethal hit. So I'm guessing Plague is just adding lethal hits. And then, other than that, they're pretty much the same as the standard weapons of the same name. Then has a Plasma Pistol, Chainsword, Plague Fist, lethal hits. Other than that, looks like it's just a Power Fist. Plague Encrusted and Law Exalted Weapon is lethal hits. It's a 6 attack, strength 5, neg 2, 1 damage. And then Twin Lightning Claw. And then Chaos Lord. While this model is leading a unit, each time a model unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. And then Desiccation Conduit. While an enemy unit is within contagion range of this model, at the end of the turn, roll 1d6. On a 4+, that enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. So that's cool. So that's another good person to put that extend the orb for their contagion range. Just be popping out those mortals. Then he's got all the options right here, and he can join Plague Marines. Then we have same guy in Terminator armor. Same thing. Anything that says Plague just gets lethal hits. Otherwise, it's the same as the same named weapons. He also gives the reroll hits 1. Also has so basically looks like he's exactly the same, except he's in Terminator armor, which changes his toughness and wounds and his save, I believe. And then he can join Blight Lord and Death Shrouds. We got the Lord of Virulence, 4-inch move, T6, 2-up save, 6 wounds, leadership 6, 1-OC. Twin Plague Spear is anti-infantry 2, ignores cover, torrent, twin linked. 12-inch range, D6 shots, auto hits, strength 5, neg 1, 1 damage. Then a heavy Plague Fist, just power fist with lethal hits. Master of Destruction, while this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack, you can reroll a wound roll. Each time a friendly Death Guard model makes an attack with a blast weapon that targets a unit that is visible to this model, add 1 to the hit roll, and that attack has the ignores cover ability. Alright, so he just has to be able to see the unit that's shot. But he doesn't actually necessarily have to see the unit that's shooting. But he basically then gives them +1 to hit and ignore cover. Alright, that's nice. And he can join Blight Lords and Death Shrouds. Lord of Contagion. Move, forge move, T6, 2 wounds, 2-up save, 1-OC, leadership 6. He's got the Plague Blade, which has strike and sweep. Both have lethal hits. He 5 attacks goes to 10. Weapon skill 2. Strength 8 goes to strength 5. Neg 2 to 0. 3 damage goes to 1. Then the Vector of Disease. While this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, you can reroll the hit roll. Then Advance of Sickness. In the fight phase, each time this model loses a wound, roll 1d6. On a 4+, the closest enemy unit within engagement range of this model suffers 1 mortal wound. Alright, and then he could also join Blight Lords and Death Shrouds. So we got a lot of characters that can join these 2 units. Death Shroud Sorcerer and Terminator armor. Combi weapon. He's got Curse of the Leper, which is Witchfire. 24 inches, D6 shots, 3 up to hit, strength 6, neg 1, 1 damage. And if he makes it hazardous, it becomes 2d6 and gains 1 AP. I don't see any other special weapons that are different than what we've seen. Then we got Putrescent Vitality. At the start of the fight phase, you can select one enemy unit with an 18 of and visible to this Psyker and roll 1d6. On a 1, this Psyker's unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 2+, until the end of the phase, each time an attack is allocated to a model in this Psyker's unit, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack. So basically, he can give his unit -1 damage in melee unless he rolls a 1, then his unit takes mortals. Pestilent Familiar is Psychic, once per battle. After selecting targets for a psychic weapon equipped by this model, until the end of the phase, improve the strength and damage characteristic of that weapon by 2. Alright, so for a psychic weapon, so I'm not sure if this is considered a psychic weapon or if that's just working on the force weapon. Because no, this says range. They're listed as ranged weapons, so I guess he could use it on those or his force weapon. Then the sorcerer can also join the Death Shrouds and Blight Lords. Alright, then we got the Malignant Plague Caster. He's a 5-inch move, T5, 3-up save, 4 wounds, leadership 6, OC1. He's got a Plague Wind, which is 12-inch range, D6 shots, auto hits, strength 4, neg 1, D3 damage. If you turn it into hazardous, it's D6 plus 3, and goes to strength 6, neg 2, still D3 damage. He has a Corrupted Staff, which is lethal hit psychic, 4 attacks, strength 6, neg 1, D3 damage. He has a Gift of Contagion. In your shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit with an 18 of and visible to this Psyker. Roll 1d6. On a 1, the Cypher suffers D3 mortal wound, or the Psyker's unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 2+, until the start of your next shooting phase, each time a model in that enemy unit makes a melee attack, subtract 1 from the wound roll. I just make an enemy unit neg 1 to wound against you. Pestilent Fallout. In your shooting phase, after this model is shot, if one or more of those attacks made with its Plague Wind score wound against an enemy infantry unit, till start of your next turn, subtract 2 from the unit's charge move. So 2 from the unit's move characteristics and 2 from advance and charge rolls. Alright, so basically you just, after you shoot somebody, you can, if they're infantry, make them neg 2 to move, charge, and advance. He could join Plague Marines. And then here we have the Plague Marines, movement 5, T5, 3-up save, 2 wounds, leadership 6, OC2. They got the Blight Launcher with its lethal hits, 24-inch range, 2 attacks, strength 6, neg 1, 2 damage. Plague Belcher, anti-infantry 4+, ignores cover torrent, 12-inch range, D6 shots, strength 4, AP0, 1 damage. Other than being anti-infantry 4+, I think the rest of it looks pretty much like a regular flamer. Plague Bolt Component. And then we have Plague Spewer, which I believe is still up there as well. D6 shots, strength 5, neg 1 damage. Plasma. Bubonic weapons are lethal hits. 4 attacks, strength 5, neg 2, 1 damage. Heavy plague weapons, 3 attacks, strength 8, neg 2, 2 damage. Plague knives, 3 attacks, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage, and all their combat is lethal hits.